We're going to talk about lettuce. I mean, there are so many different types of lettuce, really too many to go into now.
My favourite ones would be the loose-leafed types, the Lolla Rossa or the oak leaf type of lettuces, and I'd sow them every 2 weeks.
Okay, right.
The quantity I need, so if I eat 5 lettuce a week, I'll sow 10 plus 4 for the slugs or the leather jackets.
And lettuces won't germinate over a certain temperature, and that's about 24
degrees, yeah. But even today, you know, with the sun shining, you might get very warm temperatures, above 24 degrees. And then the lettuce will stop germinating and it'll become dormant. Weeks later, a week or two later, an odd one will lose the dormancy and reappear. If you sow them today now, Andrew, we'll move the tray into the shed.
Okay.
And for 3 days, just 3 days is all that matters. Then they can come back to the heat. Now we sow them quite differently, and that's important for lettuce. Lettuce needs to be sown shallow. So the way we do it, we fill our seed tray, overfill it, and to firm it is, again, a couple of bangs, and that settles the compost in nicely. Now here's the important bit really. If you sow lettuce too deep, it won't germinate. So I actually tend to sow it just on the surface. So I make the slightest indentations, because they're quite small and fiddly. Again, I put them on a piece of paper and I sow 1 seed per cell, and that's for a head of lettuce. If I grow them for cut and come again, I sow 3 or 4 seeds per cell. So once they're sown, I don't cover them up. I just leave them on the surface. At most, if you don't trust it, you can do that. A tiny little bit of compost just on it. They really need light to germinate. When it's all finished, we'll water them in gently. They have to be kept moist at all times. Yeah, absolutely. For the first while. They should take 3 to 4 days to germinate.
Right, okay.
In right conditions. Could you imagine? That's very quick.
That quick, that quick. Right, our lettuces have come up nicely. I've got 2 modules here. One of them is multi-sun, so you can see that we've got 1 or 2, 3 little seedlings there, and this one is just a single one.
They're very quick growing. Once you plant them, 5 weeks later, they're ready to harvest ahead of. So any reasonably good, friable, nice structured soil will do. Now iceberg, because it grows quite big, we need to space it wider.
Okay, so what sort of spacing?
About 40 centimetres.
Okay, so that's quite a lot already.
Whereas the other ones, we can get away with 25 to 30 centimetres a foot. Yeah, it's absolutely crucial that you plant your lettuce level with the soil, or even, like you said, let them stick out a tiny bit. Because if you cover the base, there'll be a stem rot. Anything that's too loose, that when you lift it up like that, if it would dry for a while, they'll just die.
They'll just dry out, So we want to get a good contact with the surrounding soil. So we're sort of sealing it, if you like, and allowing the water to...
Yeah, so the roots can root out into it.
Yeah.
I love the colour in the garden, isn't it, of the mixed
beautiful,
mixed types. Yeah, it's a lovely mix of colour, isn't it? That's a red salad bowl type.
Yeah.
And then you have the normal green butterhead.
Yep.
And that's a cos lettuce. Pinocchio is the variety.
Okay.
And there's multi-sown, 2 seeds went into each cell. That's the marvel of our season. And probably the little gem here, smaller cos.
Yeah. And then apart from the dreaded slugs, are we looking out for any pests or diseases that might be troublesome?
You sometimes get the lettuce root aphid.
Right.
Which, but you'll notice your plant will look stunted.
Yeah, okay.
And that often is the case when you do the cut and come again for too long.
Right.
That there's a build-up, and it's literally you pull the plant out, and if you ever notice the white fungal, it's not fungal growth, white powdery stuff on the roots, and tiny little maggots crawling around, that's lettuce root aphid.
Right, okay.
What you then do is don't grow lettuce there for the next 2 years.
Right, okay.
Grow them somewhere else.
And is that something that's fairly common?
It becomes more common in recent years, absolutely, yeah.
And then do we need to feed our lettuce?
No, not really. No, they're only small little things. If you feed them too much nitrogen, you will get, they will be much more susceptible to aphids. The garlic spray would be very beneficial on a regular basis, every week. Spray the garlic spray. Do you want to taste? The cos lettuce is actually the best for you. It has the highest vitamin content.
Is that right?
These are much softer. That's the marvel of our season.
That's really good.
Oh, that'll be my favourite now to eat.